Hey everybody. Hello everybody. Hey everybody. It's Brock. This is Brock. And we got a new episode with another episode of All About. What's up everybody? It's Brock and we got a brand new episode of All About today. And we are doing a coral. I know y'all really love the coral videos and we're going to slowly but surely get some more out. So today we are learning about one that's been asked about a lot. We're going to learn about clams. All these do come from the Tridacna family, so they pretty much all need the basic care needs. So there's so many different kinds of clams you can get out there. There's Maximas, which are the ones you most of the time you will see. There's a Derasa, there's a Corcea, there's a Squamosa, there's even one called a Hippopus. I mean, the names are endless, but in the end, you only need really one way to take care of these guys. So prices starting off the bat, you will spend normally about $40 upwards of $200, normally depending on the colors of the clam and how big they are. Care level, moderate. There really isn't much to them. Temperature, you want to keep at 78 degrees. DKH, 8 to 12. pH, 8.1 to 8.4. And your salinity, 1.023 to 1.025. Make sure you keep that right in line. Colors, there are so many different colors on these clams. There's blues and purples, golds, yellows, oranges. I mean, it's endless. And the designs on them are just breathtaking. Color, we just went over. Diet, so these guys are a filter feeder for the most part. They do get most of their food from photosynthesis, so make sure you do have really good lights up there. A good filter feeding that they do like to eat is phytoplankton, so normally you can get that in bottles and put them in your fridge, and then you can squirt some in there through your power heads to get to them, or you can target feed them. Either way, they really like it. Origin, a lot of these actually are aquacultured now. You really aren't getting them from the wild anymore, but if they do come from the wild, they're normally like in the Indo-Pacific area. Venomous, no, they're not venomous. I would watch out. Some of them have been stung before, like by our anemones or torch corals, so make sure you're putting them in a spot that they aren't going to get hit by anything, because they can close up, but really you don't want your clam to be closed up all the time. Placement, so they do have a foot up under them that will grab onto the surface really hard. I mean, it is going to be there when you put them there. Most of the ones you see in the video are in the sand, which is fine, but normally you don't want them in the sand for permanent reasons. We keep them in the sand at the shop so we can easily get them out of the tank without stressing them out, because whenever you put them on an actual rock and they put their foot down, they're there, and it's hard to get them off at times. Normally you just don't even want to mess with them. You just move the whole rock. So make sure you find a permanent spot for him that he can stay for a long time. So basically what you want to make sure is you do not have any pests down there to eat them, because I mean, they're just like an open food source to predators. One of the main ones that they can get eaten by are bristle worms. You want to make sure you do not have bristle worms in your tank, or they are at least under control. I've had plenty of my Maxima clams put on the sand bed and then wake up the next morning and they're covered in bristle worms. So make sure you have some guys in there. 6-line wrasse are really good about eating them, and also the coral banded shrimp is really good about eating them. So really make sure you don't have any guys running around messing with your stuff. A good thing to do is put the clam on top of a PVC pipe. This makes it harder for the bristle worms to actually find it. This is what we normally do in the shop, because we are never fully sure if we have bristle worms in the tank, because we're moving stuff in and out of the tanks constantly. So this has always helped us. So with lighting, just make sure you leave a comment down below if you're unsure if your lighting is going to be strong enough, or if it's good enough, or even too powerful for these guys. I can look it up and see if I've used it before. We normally put them under our AI Primes or our AI Hydras 26s. They normally do just fine under there. If you're scared that your lighting is too powerful, make sure to set them at the bottom of the tank. This will help them not get bleached out if your light's too powerful. A lot of times you can start to see them lose color or become more see-through. That means your light's too powerful. You need to turn it down or move them lower in the tank. Normally they do like to be on the lower part to mid-range in the tank anyways, so that'll be easy for you to figure out. Current wise, they do like a little bit of current on them because they are filter feeders, so they're constantly trying to catch anything in the water that they can eat. Size wise, so the Maximas, they normally get up to about 12 inches by the end of it. The Derasas get up to 24 inches if you can really keep him healthy for a while. He can get huge in your tank. And the Corceas are normally your smaller ones. They won't get any bigger than 6 inches. So if you're wanting one that is a little bit smaller, you definitely want to try that one. I think that's really all I can tell y'all about the good old clams. Make sure you don't have any predators in there like triggers or butterfly fish, you know, groupers, anything like that that would just take a chunk out of them. Because it is, once these guys have lost some of their flesh, it's really, really hard to make them come back. So make sure you put them in a really nice reef tank. Make sure your water stays good. Keep doing your monthly water changes, and you should really have no problem taking care of this guy. Because for the most part, he's feeding off your lights and feeding off your water. So you really ain't got much taking care of him to do. You just get to watch him look pretty. But other than that, I hope you all have a good day. If you do have more questions about the corals, please leave comments down below. I love answering questions from y'all. And if there's something I did not get to in the coral videos, please leave it down below and I'll start to include it on the future ones. So I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all have a good week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the playlist. We only have a couple coral ones, but if you're wanting to know more about fish, we got plenty of those to look at. But eventually we'll have these coral videos popping out like nothing. I'll see y'all later.